Hi, it's Timo. Welcome to Norwich City Central.
Hello everybody, Lewis, Norwich City Central. I hope you're all doing really well. Thank you for all the support on the channel, almost at 3,500 subscribers. So if you are new to the channel and want consistent match reviews, previews and all the information surrounding Norwich all over the summer transfer window, and of course, fingers crossed match day experiences to come in the Premier League season, then do hit the subscribe button. That would really help me out. And thank you for all the support again on the channel. A bit of business that is from Norwich. Norwich has signed Milot, Rashica and from Werder Bremen, and that is a sensational bit of business, and it looks like it's going to be a club record fee of £9.5 million, 11 million euros. So obviously there's going to be lots of expectations, and perhaps we've seen some big money moves with Ricky Van Wolfswinkel and Steve Naismith not work, but for me, he's got all the ingredients to be a top player. And I think a lot of Norwich fans were really disappointed. We're losing Emi Buendia, of course, one of the best players ever to play at our football club. But we've signed a guy who looks like he's going to be an Emi Buendia replacement, and someone who I think we can really get behind. So in this video, it's going to be a lowdown over Norwich's new signing, my thoughts and feelings about him, and I'd love to hear your thoughts down below in the comment section about Norwich's new signing, Rashica. So let's talk about him. Did very well in his young spells in Holland, and then made a big money move to Werder Bremen. And yeah, really interesting player in the 18-19 season. So he's only 21, 22 years old here. Absolutely ripped up the Bundesliga, 9 goals from the wing position, and just looked like a really exciting player. And from that first season, he's already getting linked with big clubs. Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund were interested. And then in the 19-20 season, again, absolutely on fire. Werder Bremen started the season really well. They beat Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund. Rashica scored an absolutely sensational goal against Bayern Munich 2 years ago from his own halfway line. And yeah, scored 8 goals in the Bundesliga. So this is a player who was knocking on double figures in the Bundesliga as a winger, which is an unbelievable bit of statistics, and was doing really well. Was Werder Bremen's best player, and a lot of top clubs were looking at him. Last season, in the 2021 season, though, things didn't quite work out. Werder Bremen got relegated for the first time, I think, since the 1980s. Which was really disappointing, of course, for them. And he didn't quite have the same season, Rashica. 3 goals, 5 assists, and his kind of, you know, those statistics went down and probably played a small part in his team getting relegated. But if it wasn't for that, I don't think we would have signed him, because a lot of top clubs were really interested in him. And Norwich have kind of gone under the radar. He's had a disappointing season. But look, if he shows those kind of statistics and shows those quality performances, as he did 2-3 years ago in the Bundesliga as a young kid, then this looks like a really exciting bit of business from Norwich. In terms of his main attributes, looks like a really pacey player. And as you can see here from the from kind of the positions he's played, he's made 100 appearances in the Bundesliga, which is a really good achievement for a guy of his age. And yeah, he can kind of play anywhere, really. I think we've got Ono and Todd on the left. He can play through the middle as a number 10, as a centre forward, or he can play on the right. And when I look at Norwich's positions, of course, losing Emi Buendia, we haven't really got any right wingers. Of course, we've got Josh Martin and Porheta, but I don't expect them to be playing in the Premier League for Norwich. So for me, Rashica, he's a right-footed player. I think he's going to come nicely on the right wing for us, and he does look like a ready-made Emi Buendia replacement, and someone who just really excites me. He's got a lot of pace about him. In the Bundesliga, ripped it up, and yeah, just a really exciting player. Some really nice quotes coming out from him as well. And what's interesting, actually, and maybe this is why Norwich City got him, as I mentioned earlier, his career's kind of, last season, kind of went downhill a little bit. Obviously, 3 goals and 5 assists isn't a bad return in the Bundesliga, but he was really touted with some of the top clubs. Aston Villa were really interested in signing Rashica last season, but he turned them down because he didn't want to be in a relegation battle. Well, I'm sorry, Rashica, you're probably going to be in a relegation battle next season. So maybe kind of his aspirations in the clubs who are interested in him kind of weren't there, but you know, he wants to play in the Premier League, and I'm sure Norwich City are going to give him a really good platform to go on and do really well for his club. But yeah, lots of pace, really exciting player, and someone who just scores goals, and that's what Norwich need. I think we need to sign as many attacking players who kind of can score goals, and that's what Norwich need. And in terms of our transfer business, I think a lot of fans have been a little bit disappointed that maybe our transfer business has been a bit slow. But signing Rashica for $9.5 million, we're probably going to sign Angus Gunn tomorrow, which will be a few £1 million. Norwich City are spending money this transfer window. We've already spent, I think people forget, we've already spent around 15 million already on Ben Gibson, which was an £8 million deal, and the Greek right back Demetrius for £6 million. Of course, we've signed this guy for £9.5 million, and we're going to sign Angus Gunn probably in the next couple of days. So that means Norwich spent well over £25 million, and so they should be spending a lot of money as well. Obviously, Norwich are in a brilliant financial position now of getting to the Premier League, gives them more money to spend, and of course the sale of Emi Buendia. There's no reason why Norwich, can reinvest most of that straight into the squad to try and stay up and try and give us a platform going forward. And I think Norwich have done that now with Rashica on that right wing spot. In terms of Norwich's attacking players, on the left, O'Neill and Todd; through the middle, Dow and Stiepermann; and on the right, we haven't really got anyone. Josh Martin, Borheta. But of course, Rashica is going to be the main guy there. So some of those players I'm not sure Norwich are going to keep. I'm not sure we're going to keep Stiepermann. I think we might let Borheta leave as well. Josh Martin will probably go out on a loan. So there's potentially room for Norwich City to buy another kind of attacking player. And who knows, Rashica, Daniel Farke might think of him as a number 10 in place of Kieran Dowell. But it's going to be really interesting to see Norwich how they play it in the transfer window. But overall, I'm just really happy with this signing, and to think some of the top clubs were really interested in him is something as well. In terms of his pros, I think I've kind of mentioned a lot of his pros already. His pace, and of course those brilliant statistics in the Bundesliga. And obviously he wants to play in the Premier League as well. The cons, I mean, the only cons I can think of is obviously that last season where it was a little bit disappointing, and I've seen a few fans of his club say that he didn't really turn up in the big games and the decisive moments where they needed him most. And of course, that's what Norwich City are gonna need from him to try and stay up in the Premier League. But that doesn't mean it's not going to happen. This season, of course, he wants to stay in the Premier League, and he's a player with so much quality. And yeah, overall, I'm really happy. There's no guarantees he's going to do really well. And obviously, Norwich's big money signings haven't really worked out too well. I think of Ricky van Wolfswinkel. We didn't feed the wolf. And Stephen Naismith, I don't know what we were feeding him, but he just didn't deliver in a Norwich shirt. So some of our big money signings haven't always worked. And look, Josip Dermich was someone who was had a really good Bundesliga record, and he definitely didn't work out. And Duda as well, someone who had a really good Bundesliga record, and someone who he's done well since returning back to the Bundesliga, and he's done well in the Euros. So there's no guarantee this is going to work out, but £9.5 million is obviously a lot of money, and you can see that in just how he plays. A lot of clubs are interested in him. He's someone with a lot of quality, and someone that really excites me, and I'm sure he's going to be the first name on the team sheet. And yeah, I wish him all well, the Kosovan winger. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below on the signing and the transfer window as a whole, and how you see Norwich City going forward. Obviously, we're going to sign Angus Gunn. That looks pretty much certain now. Billy Gilmore, Christian Ajer have also been linked. So yeah, some exciting names are starting to come out, and I'm sure with the money we've got now from Buendia, and obviously getting promoted to the Premier League, Stuart Webber can find some more brilliant names. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below in the comment section, and thank you for watching. I'll see you later.